Welcome to Reckless Paradise, everyone. I'm your host, Marissa, and I'm here with my co-host, Dystro. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Well, we're officially into September, guys. Happy September, even though that's literally my least favorite month of the year. Well, it used to be. Okay, technically it's not. Technically, my least favorite month of the year is February. But when I was a kid, I hated September because back to school, all that goody goody crap.
Don't remind me.
Hey, listen, we've been out of school for, well, how long have you been out of school for?
Going on 6 years now.
And this June coming up next year will be 4 years. So we're getting old. I don't feel it though. Ugh. Anyways, I hope everybody had a really good weekend. I hope everybody's having a really good Labor Day weekend. I should say Happy Labor Day, everybody, even though that is tomorrow, Monday.
Mm.
Um, I hope everybody's having a good weekend. We let off some fireworks, and actually, currently, there's some people letting off fireworks right now somewhere on the lake. So don't be surprised if you hear those. I don't know if my mic will pick it up, but we let off fireworks last night, and it was a damn good show.
I bet.
So, how was your weekend?
Wasn't too bad, to be honest with you. Like today was kind of very, very slow, but it's to be expected because it's Labor Day weekend. So that's.
Yeah,
But it's all good in the neighborhood right now.
that's good. Thank you guys for joining the episode. I hope you guys enjoy. So, as promised, we are finally picking up on an episode that we were supposed to do last month. Now, if you guys recall, I had a little bit of a cell tower issue at the end of July. That weekend, we were supposed to double record because Fair Week was starting the following week on the 6th. So, unfortunately, that episode for August 6th never got recorded, and this was the episode we were supposed to do. But now we're finally doing it. We are doing a year in wrestling, but we're going to do 2 years together because these 2 years kind of really blended in together, it seems like. It seems like it's just all like one big, big year, even though a year is 12 months. Um, so this is going to be 2013 and 2014. Now, if I recall, I was 11 and 12 years old in those 2 years. So this is like when I really started to like focus on wrestling like tenfold. How old were you at this time? Do you remember?
2013 would have been 15,
God damn, you're older than me by a fucking few years.
and then 2014 it would have been 16.
Okay, stop getting old here.
Hey, hey, can't help
So Daisho did the honors and took the notes because to be honest, I only remember bits and pieces from these 2 years. Because sadly, as you get older, you do tend to forget a little bit of your childhood. Um,
that's for sure.
and I had a lot going on both of those years in real life personally. So I'm kind of not surprised I don't remember everything, but I do remember bits and pieces. But I feel like if you bring them up, it'll come back to me.
Right.
All right, so let's start off with 2013. Man, what a freaking year for WWE.
I mean, for real. But to be honest with you, New Japan and TNA were kind of rocking too.
Yeah, at
And,
that
and
time, I think I stopped watching TNA.
I think I think a lot of people did, to be honest with you. I think it was just because Hogan, but Hogan had left in like 2012 or something like that, I guess. I can't remember. But like the one match that I have written down from January 13th of 2013 was TNA Genesis, and it was Hardy, Aries, and Rude for the world title.
So who was champ at that time? Do you remember?
Um, Hardy, I think.
Because I do remember Rude had a really good title reign in Impact shortly before I stopped watching. Like I think that was the last thing I remembered from Impact was Rude's title run in TNA.
Yeah, Rude had a very, very good heel title run. And then Aries had won the X Division title that last in 2012, and then he cashed it in for a world title shot against Rude, and he won the title. And then I think it was turning point, and then Hardy won it, and then he had to defend it against Aries and Rude in the triple threat.
Right. Wow. Jeez.
See, this is where I come in.
Yeah. Because like once again, I stopped watching Impact. I think it was like after 2012. I stopped watching.
um, but back onto the track with WWE and stuff. We had the Royal Rumble that year.
Oh. Okay. Wait. No, it's coming back to me now. So this was the year where The Rock defeated CM Punk's 434 whatever title reign.
Ding ding ding.
Yeah,
Correct.
I have the match. I have that match on DVD. That's how I kind of remember. I'm still surprised they put the title on Rock. They had The Rock defeat Punk. Like,
I
I hate to
I
say it.
yeah, it's like it's just such stupid booking, to be honest with you. It's like Punk should have defeated Rock, and then Punk should have had his main event in Mania. He should have.
Yeah, but
But Cena won the Rumble, obviously, lol. Uh,
whoa.
but like, but other than that, like, I didn't have like much for January and stuff. I did like just to let the people know, let the fans know. I didn't write a lot of stuff because I
Just
didn't
like the
want to like,
main focus points.
yeah, the main focus points. I didn't want to like burden all the people with like, like this happened,
Every single
this happened.
promotion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like I just did like,
We would be here for hours and I would
yeah,
probably be falling asleep by like halfway through.
so I just did main things that happened in that time
And stuff that
period.
we remember too. That's another thing we kind
Yeah,
of put.
so just to let the people know.
Now, I remember, is it weird? I kind of tend to remember the pay per view posters a lot. I remember this pay per view poster
I
that
do,
had The Rock on it
I do
for the
too.
Rumble for 2013. I remember that.
It's like, man, it's like, and plus, like, Shield had debuted not too long ago too, around that time.
Yeah, you are right about that. Jeez. I think 2013 was a big, big year for the Shield in general.
Mm-hmm.
They dominated 2013, and I could definitely say that with a straight face.
Mm. For real.
So
Because it's
I'm trying
just
to
crazy.
think, like, did they debut in January or was it later on in the year?
So they debuted.
I thought it was 2012 they debuted.
They debuted at Survivor Series that year
Okay.
because they interfered in the Ryback, Cena, and Punk match at Survivor Series that year.
Is this the same year or is this 2012?
Ever in 2012, but
I was gonna say.
and then their first official pay-per-view match in 2012 with TLC of 2012.
Okay, okay, yeah, I remember now.
Because I remember that match vividly. All right.
Moving on.
I didn't do much for February. There wasn't much for February of 2013, but I went
Now,
with Elimination Chamber.
I was about to say, yeah, Elimination Chamber, that I do remember, was Cena. I think Sheamus was in there, and
hmm
Ryback.
hmm Versus Shield.
There's just the Shield, yeah.
And like you said, Shield dominated 2013. They did. For
Yep.
shoot. They did for real. But then Jack Swagger of all people defeated five former world heavyweight champions in one night, to be honest with you.
Oh, wow.
To get the shot at the world title against Del Rio, who was world champion at the time in 2013, at Mania that year.
Jeez, what the hell?
I know.
Considering how low card Jack Swagger was.
They saw something in him, I guess, because
Yeah.
plus, like, this was when he was doing the We the People thing.
Oh, that fucking thing with Zeb
We
Coulter or
the
whatever his name is.
people. Yeah,
God, I hated that.
and then like I think it was like earlier on in 2013 to like he recruited Antonio Cesaro to the group.
Yes, I remember that. They were a team for a little while.
I'm kind of shocked that they didn't like win any like tag gold
Yeah,
at
I
all.
know. Like, you think they would, like, especially Cesaro. Like,
I mean, look at him now. I mean, come
he's
on.
doing good now.
He's doing good now. Yeah. Um, that was just the main focus point I just went with in February because there was not much else going on at that time.
Yeah, I get that.
Um,
March.
but March, oh boy, this is where it all kicked off for some people, I guess. Okay, so in 2013, ROH had its 11th anniversary show, and
Mhm.
ROH roster at that time was really kind of stacked. It had Steen, it had I think El Generico at the time too, before he went to NXT.
Oh yes, Sami
Uh,
Zayn.
I think Mike Kanellis was there.
Were the
For the
Briscoes there?
Yeah, Briscoes were still there, obviously.
Obviously.
Um, oh God, I think Steve Corino was working at that time too. Um, oh God, I can't remember like who was all on their roster, but it was a pretty good size roster at the time too. It had like Cedric Alexander. It had like some of the people that we know from like Impact or AEW or WWE and stuff. They were all on that roster
Wow.
at that time.
Jeez.
But then 8 days later, on March 10th at TNA Lockdown, Bully Ray wins the world title for the I think second time.
Boo.
Boo!
God, I
and
hate him.
and I think he defeated Hardy for that title too.
Wow.
I didn't, and plus like Mania wasn't in March; it was the next month.
I remember there was one year where Mania was like at the end of March.
Um, I think that was 14.
I don't know why, but I was thinking it was like Mania 29, but it's not. I know it's like April. I can't remember. It's gonna bother me. I'm gonna have to look it up later. But keep going.
All right. So April 2013, I wrote one thing for ROH and then one thing for WWE. So for ROH, this April 5th, 2013, this was when Jay Briscoe won his first world title for the very first time.
Ooh, nice.
And I think he defeated Kevin Steen for that title, to be honest with you.
Ah.
Very poetic. I put in parentheses, R.I.P. Jay Briscoe. He was going
Mm-hmm.
way too soon.
God bless him.
Um, Shouts out to his brother, his wife, his like who all his family members, all of them. But Mania 29.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember this pay per
Absolutely.
view?
Fucking Rock and Cena.
Number 2.
That's like I think that's like the most memorable moment for me from Mania 29.
Well,
That and
I have my
Undertaker, the
uh,
Undertaker match.
yeah, that's my match of the night for me. I know that
Who
could be a lot of unpopular opinions about that, but
did he face that year?
he faced Punk.
Punk, yeah. I kind of figured that.
Yeah, because at Elimination Chamber in February, Punk went up against Rock again, and he lost.
Oh boy.
I was like, it was just the start of the downfall for
They're giving
Punk.
him the L treatment.
Yeah, like it just sucks, man. Like, come on.
I
um,
agree.
but then like you have like the Shield face Big Show, Kane, and Sheamus in a random 6-man tag.
Oof.
For whatever, or no, it was Sheamus, Orton, and Big Show. That's what it was
The
versus the
hell?
Shield. That's some random 2K booking I've ever seen. um, but then like like you have like Swagger versus Del Rio. You have I think like you have like Ryback versus Mark Henry on that show.
Ooh.
Because this was like I think like he was about to start about to end the Hall of Pain thing, I guess.
Right.
I guess. And then, Rock vs. Cena 2 and all that stuff. Um, it's not my favorite Mania of all time, but
Right.
it's each their own. So we go into May.
Yep.
I did
Ugh.
WWE and ROH.
Okay.
So I did Extreme Rules that year
Oh
for
yeah.
May, because that was when Ambrose won the U.S. title for the first time, and then Rollins and Reigns won the tag titles for the first time.
Okay.
Because Ambrose won it off of Kofi, and then Rollins and Reigns defeated Team Hell No, who were tag champs at that time.
Oh yes, the domination of the Shield.
And then in May, also for ROH, it was Best in the World 2013. It was Jay versus Mark for the world title.
Oh wow.
I put in parentheses, Brutta versus Brutta.
Jeez, holy crap, that's dope.
And I think I have that match on the ROH playlist when we get to it.
That's dope.
And I think it's like it's a very good match too. It's like, plus it's like it's two brothers who know each other. It's gonna be absolute magic,
Yeah.
honestly. Um, I didn't do anything for June, July, August, or September because none of those pay-per-views were very memorable for me.
Now I do remember Dolph Ziggler was climbing to the top this year as
Yeah, because
well.
he had won Money in the Bank in 2012.
And this was when he uses the whole fling thing with AJ Lee and stuff.
Oh God, don't get me started on that.
She cost him like I think a title or something like that. One pay-per-view.
So I think I remember this. It was the night after Mania. Del Rio had defended it against. He had defended the world title against Swagger again in a rematch that following night. Ziggler comes out, cashes in, and that was like one of the most like memorable cash-ins of all time for some people. And then he had a pretty good world title run. He lasted until Payback in 2013.
Oh jeez.
I think that was in June.
Oh man.
I think June or July.
I think it was June.
Um, and then he lost it to Del Rio again.
But then I saw like there was like a match where she got involved in the match and she like tipped the ladder over on Ziggler or something.
Oh, that was TLC 2012.
Really?
Because
Wow, I'm getting my years mixed up, dude.
so Ziggler and Cena were the main event of that pay-per-view, and it was for his briefcase.
Okay.
I remember this vividly because I had that DVD for the longest time.
My bad. Wrong year.
My bad. Go on without me. But and plus, like Big E was in his little group too.
I remember.
I don't need one. I don't need two. I don't need three. I
And
don't
then there
need
was like the
four.
segment on Raw where Ziggler and AJ were supposed to get married or whatever, and Cena comes out and he's like he says something like, "This is what you are full of," and then crap just falls down in the center of the ring, and that freaking Ziggler and AJ get drenched in crap.
Yeah.
How can I forget?
Do you remember Caitlyn?
I do.
So I think this was around that time too, and I was watching Payback recently too. Ambrose versus Kane ended a fucking count out for the U.S. title.
Oh.
Ziggler and Del Rio for the world title. Del Rio won it back after Ziggler had a concussion.
I remember that too.
And then AJ versus Caitlyn for the Divas title, which was a butterfly. Stupid. title design, by the way. Um, AJ won her first Divas title there too. I think it was there was something else. Oh, the main event of that show was Cena versus Ryback when Ryback was getting the monster heel push and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and it was three stages of hell at that show.
Oh.
The first stip was a lumberjack match. Second stip was a tables match, and then the third stip, if necessary, was an ambulance match.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, why do I remember this?
I remember bits and pieces, which I'm glad I do.
Yeah. God, what do I also remember? Oh, I think the summer of 2013, August, SummerSlam. Wasn't that Bray Wyatt's first pay-per-view match? I
I don't
think.
remember. I don't remember that.
I think it was because it was Bray versus Kane in Ring of Fire match in
Oh,
2013.
jeez.
And it was just basically saying Inferno match. They said, "Oh yeah, it's a Ring of Fire match." It's basically just Inferno match.
Fucking
Like really?
Inferno.
Like really? I'm like, oh, okay. um, and then September was Night of Champions.
Mm-hmm. I wish I'd
Um,
bring that back.
I mean, they kind of did with
What?
recently, um, but I think after that, like, I just kind of blacked out when I did June through September because I was like, there was nothing noteworthy at all that I
Right.
wrote down. So and then going to October. This was the Orton versus Bryan feud.
Oh, that fucking feud. I remember that.
I remember also backtrack to SummerSlam in August. That main event was Cena and Bryan for the world title,
Ooh.
for the WWE title, I should say.
Wow.
And then Bryan won it, and then
Wait a minute. Isn't this where you got screwed over
yeah, he got screwed over
by
by
Orton? And
Orton,
Triple
who
H fucking. Yeah, I remember that.
yeah.
I was so mad that night, too. Like, I was like keeping up to date on my fucking iPod Touch at the time as a kid. And I was like, what happened? What the heck is this? I was so mad because, like, I was rooting for Brian.
Mhm.
And
Everybody was.
fucking Orton's out there with Triple H and he gets screwed over. Like, really? Like, come on, man.
Well, it's because Stephanie called him a B plus player.
Well, Stephanie can suck this. Oh, yeah.
Well, hey. um. So Orton and Bryan ended in a no contest, so the title was vacated,
Oh, great.
and then oh no, this was Battleground. I'm sorry, this was I think I think this was Battleground, and RVD had come back in 2013 as well
Oh, yeah.
because he returned at Money in the Bank that year.
Yeah.
It was RVD, Christian, Orton, I think Kofi. Um, it was kind of like it was like kind of like an all-star sort of
Yeah.
Money in the Bank too, and like everybody was chanting RVD, and then they all beat him up.
Aw.
And then Orton won that year, so then like he cashed in on Bryan at SummerSlam
Fucking
and all of that.
SummerSlam.
Like I said, that match Orton and Bryan went in a no contest, and then also at Battleground it was Rhodes versus his Shield for the tag titles.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I love that freaking match. It was like, I think that, isn't that the only time they've collided?
Rhodes and Shield, believe so. Like in standard like 2-on-2, yes, but I know at Hell in a Cell, like that exact same month, Um, they also collided with the Usos over the tag titles as well.
Ooh.
I I do remember that. Um, but I had like a little caveat here. Could you imagine if this is like when War Games came back? Like
Ooh.
after being gone for so long, because the last time War Games ever was like in like mainstream wrestling or whatever was WCW in 2000.
Wow.
So it was a long time.
Yeah.
It was like 14 years. And I put in parentheses that I said this is where War Games should have been, because you would have had Brian, Cody, Goldust, and Big Show on one team, Orton versus Shield on the other.
Oh wow.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But we'll never get that. So, but then we go to TNA for a little bit. Go to Bound for Glory that year. It was Styles versus Bully Ray in a no DQ match, and this was where Styles was leaving the company in
Oh
December.
yes.
It was the last pay per view to feature Styles in TNA as he was leaving in December.
Wow.
So
TNA took a big loss when they lost AJ. I know that for sure.
it was just because like he wanted the exact same money that he was getting, but they couldn't match it. They
Wow.
really couldn't match it. And I think at the time Dixie Carter was running the company at this time too. I think I could be wrong, but they were like, we can't match it. So then he was like, I'm leaving then. So I was like, I don't blame him. I really don't blame
Yeah.
him. But then go to Hell in a Cell, exact same month in October. We had Battleground and Hell in a Cell in the exact same month.
Yep.
And then Orton beat Bryan for the WWE title and Hell in a Cell.
Wow.
Because Shawn was the special guest ref.
Oh yeah. I think I remember that a little bit.
I'm like, okay. Um, I didn't write anything for November, but Survivor Series happened. Big whoop. But I did write for TLC in 23rd in December. We had Punk versus the Shield, Wyatt versus Bryan, and then we had Cena versus Orton for the unified WWE and World Heavyweight title
Oh
thing
yeah, Cena and Orton picked up the rivalry.
again. um, that TLC pay per view wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. It was okay.
Yeah.
Um, but like other than that, it's like that's all like the highlights for 2013. Like wrestling wise, but I had some debuts that I wanted to share.
Yep. And
Um,
some deaths at the after that too. We
yeah,
usually do deaths as well.
and I did retirements as well.
Okay.
So we had Jay White debuted in 2013. Now, for some people who do not know who he is the leader of Bullet Club Gold right now.
Hell yeah, he is, and he's like a New Japan Pro Wrestling legend right now.
Yes,
Like
he
if you
is.
think about it.
Yeah, he was in like ROH for a little bit. His noticeable stuff is always just New Japan. We had No Way Jose debut in 2013.
God, what the fuck happened to him? Where'd he go?
I don't know. That's what I was asking myself the other day. I was like, where the hell did he go? Um, Mojo Rawley debuted in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa Bliss too,
Yep.
and Rina Yamashita, who's a Joshi legend, and Deanna Purrazzo, who's currently in Impact at this point.
Yep.
So we turn the page here.
Turn the page here.
Turn to page 8. We had 4 retirements in 2013.
Okay.
One of them was Viscera,
Oh yeah,
Big
Big
Daddy
Daddy
V.
V. Rest in peace to him.
Joey Lid. Uh, Man, that dude, he doesn't not age. He does not age.
No.
Ted DiBiase Jr. He retired. Uh, he was like 34 or something like that when he retired
Jeez.
or something like that. I think it was like 44. And then we had William Regal retired in 2013 too,
Ah yes, Willie Regal.
which is crazy. It's so crazy.
But since then, he's done some work with AEW and WWE back,
Yeah.
behind the scenes and stuff, and even on camera. Like he's like, been making appearances and stuff. I mean, he was like managing the Blackpool Combat Club for a little while.
And then he was the general manager for NXT for a long time.
Yeah.
Uh, until it got switched over to Nickelodeon. Uh, but we also had some deaths in 2013. The noticeable biggest one was Paul Bearer.
Oh yes, I remember when he died. Man.
He was 58 when he died.
Yep.
Reed Flair, he was 25 when he passed.
Yeah, he was young.
Hector Garza, who is Angel Garza's uncle.
Yep.
And then Matt Bourne, who was Joint the Clown.
Oh, him. Yeah, he's got a dark history.
Yeah, very much.
So we are on crunch time here. We are about almost 32 minutes in, and we've just finished 2013. Oh boy. Okay, so let's do 2014 like this. Number one, let's just focus on what happened in WWE just to shorten on time.
Gotcha.
And then let's do the deaths and the retirements and the debuts. Let's do those first.
So the retirements and debuts first. Okay.
And deaths, yeah.
Okay. So debuts for 2014. Dragon Lee, El Desperado, Carmelo Hayes was a good one too.
Ooh.
Tom Lawler, Filthy Tom Lawler, Chelsea Green, Kyle Fletcher.
From Aussie Open?
Yes. I had to think for a second. Yes. Chad Gable, Dana Brooke, and Braun Strowman. They all debuted in 2014.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi,
Oi,
oi.
oi, oi.
I love them.
Retirements. Caitlyn in 2014.
Really?
Yes, she did.
Why? What the hell?
I really don't know. I think it was just because like she was going through some stuff and she had to do her yoga stuff, I guess, to calm her down. I don't know. Punk retired in 2014 as well. I know, but that's what it says. Sergeant Slaughter,
Okay, yeah.
Christian Cage.
I'm
I know
also laughing at that because he's back.
Batista. Bye, Batista. Petey Williams, Maple Leaf Muscle, the Canadian
Fuck
Destroyer
you,
himself.
Petey.
Fuck you, Petey. And Corey Graves. I mean,
Wow.
he's on commentary
He's
again,
on commentary, yeah. That's fine.
4 deaths in 2014. Mae Young, she was 90. And then we just talked about Viscera, so he was 43. Ultimate Warrior, I remember when he passed.
Me too.
It was like,
It was like literally after WrestleMania.
yeah, it was like literally the night after WrestleMania.
Like he came on Raw, like the night before he died. He came on Raw, did like this big old speech, and then he died like the next day.
Yeah, like the next day.
What happened? Like I think he had a heart attack. I think that's what that happened.
Yeah, I think it was a heart attack. Yeah, that's what they said. And then I think like 2015, I think he got inducted into the Hall of Fame, which was cool. I'm glad he did.
Wait a minute. I thought he got inducted that year.
I think he did. I think
because
he did.
He did the speech at the Hall of Fame, and then WrestleMania weekend came and gone, and then on Monday Night Raw he came on again and did like another little speech, and then he died the next day.
Passed.
Like that's so fucking weird.
That's right.
It's like he like wanted to get this done before, like he knew he was gonna die. Like I feel like he could sense that he was gonna die.
And you never know when it was your time to
So
go.
fucking weird, my dude.
And then Sean O'Hare, who was 43.
Okay, yep.
All right,
Wow.
so we got that out of the way.
All right, so let's fly through 2014. We're just gonna do the WWE stuff, guys, just to save
Mm,
time because we are on crunch time now.
yeah. So 2014, Batista won the Rumble.
Oh God,
Boo.
what the fuck? Why did they? Okay, first of all, why? Why did they choose to have that happen?
Because they wanted to probably have Orton versus Batista Evolution.
Uh, of course.
I mean, hey, Brian made his way to the main event. He defeated three.
Yes.
He defeated all three members of Evolution in one night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they're all getting
um.
old. Well, Randy's not old, but
Um. We go to February. We go to the Elimination Chamber. Orton versus Bryan versus Cena versus Cesaro versus Christian versus Sheamus.
wow. Okay, that's actually a pretty good lineup.
I remember that chamber as well. It was Shield versus the Wyatts in 6-man tag.
Ooh, that
Hmm
sounds. We need to watch that.
I've seen that many times. It's so
Of
good.
course,
It's
you
super
have.
good. It is super good.
I never
I
got to
remember.
watch pay per views as a fucking kid. I wasn't
I, re-
privileged like a lot of you people.
I remember this one as well. It was Sheamus, Christian, and Cena versus the Wyatt or versus Shield on Raw, and if the Shield won, they would have been entered into the chamber, and
Oh
they
God!
didn't because of the
Wow!
Wyatts.
Damn!
So then that's what led to that 6-man tag. Um, First ever NXT pay per view on WWE Network in February as well.
Wow, that's cool.
Mania 30, we just went over that with Brian defeated 3
Mania
Evolution
30. That
members.
was wasn't that the year Hulk Hogan was hosting it?
Yep. Oh, brother.
Literally, brother.
Because it was like Hogan, Stone Cold, and Mick Foley came out and took up like maybe 30 minutes of our time.
Yeah.
We go to May now to Extreme Rules. Um, the most notable one for me was Shield versus Evolution.
Oh, I think I remember that match a little bit.
Shit, that match was crazy too. Um, and then we go to Payback the next month. I had to remember. It was Shield versus Evolution again, but it was no holds barred elimination match. Thank you. And it was clean sweep that night. Clean sweep.
Wow.
Then we
Now
go to
this was Brian Danielson's year for the titles. Like that was his year.
yeah, and then oh god, then it was like due to injury and stuff, so they had to get vacated.
Oh, that sucks.
Cause my neck sucks.
Oh wait, June.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm getting fucking more flashbacks to something. June 2nd, 2014. The Shield split.
yep.
Fucking Seth turns his back on the Shield. Triple H is like, there's always a
A
plan
plan
B.
B.
Fucking Seth goes bam, like right on fucking Roman's back. Dean looks like he just saw a fucking ghost. He's like, what the fuck you doing? And he goes bam, bam, and my heart broke that night. Like as a fucking 12-year-old watching that, I loved the Shield. I loved Dean Ambrose. I still do. Still love Moxley to this day. As a Shield fucking fan, my heart shattered that night. Like my birthday was literally 3 days later. Like what a fucking birthday gift. I remember that as if it was yesterday.
Hey, look at that. There you go. And then later on that month, June 29th, was Money in the Bank.
Oh yes.
And they had the vacant WWE and World Heavyweight title in a ladder match, which they treated kind of like a Money in the Bank ladder match. It was like Cena, Wyatt, Kofi, Seth, Dean, or no, yeah, no, because Seth and Dean was in the Money in the Bank ladder match. That's right. And Seth won that night, and he held it all the way up to the next year at that year's Mania too.
Wow.
And that was the start of the Ambrose and Rollins rivalry too. Um,
Oh yeah, we need. Okay, we are definitely doing a separate episode on that rivalry.
yes, we
Absolutely.
need to. 2014 SummerSlam. That was the Lesnar squash Cena match
Huh, I remember that.
because we played 2K Showcase and we know how many fucking suplexes he did. Wasn't
Fucking
it like
my god.
15, 16 suplexes?
Dear God, I don't even want to talk about that fucking match, dude. Like, oh,
Um,
poor Cena, man.
and then NXT Takeover Favorite Four Way, Adrian Neville, awesome pack. Tyson Kidd, who's not, he's working behind the scenes now. Tyler Reese, he's still, I guess, with the company, I guess. And then Sami Zayn, he's still with the company too. Which that was a good fatal four way too. Then at Night of Champions of September, Cena won by DQ against Lesnar as well.
Oh, so this was like another like kick up of just a Cena and Brock Lesnar feud that they started in 2012.
Shit, it was like going off and on for like a while.
Jeez.
Um, and then Hell in a Cell, October, Rollins versus Ambrose.
Oh yes, here we go. I really want to revisit that whole feud, like just for fun. Like every little bit of it, we need to revisit, like we did with the Shawn Michaels and Triple H one.
What? It's for charity.
And he has fucking a plate of cookies too. I remember that. Ugh.
That and plus it went on for a good while too, because it started in June, it ended in October.
Good fucking
So
good fucking rivalry.
like good 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Um, and that was like when Wyatt went after Ambrose too, and they started their rivalry.
Jeez, fucking Ambrose was getting fucking attacked left and right and center.
Most notable thing for November 23rd was Survivor Series that year. It was Team Cena versus Team Authority.
Oh yes, I remember that match too. I remember fucking staying up all night on my iPod at the time, waiting for results from that match. And I'm like, because at that point, I think we were all sick of the Authority. We were all sick of the
Mhm.
Authority running the fucking show and dominating and shit. We just wanted Cena, our hero at the time, to come through, and I think he did. Him and his team won.
Yeah, and Dolph was the sole survivor.
Yeah.
Because that's where Sting made his debut that show too.
Yep.
Sting. um, and then Sami Zayn versus Neville at Takeover Revolution, where Sami Zayn won the NXT title for the first time, which that was a good one too. And then that's where Kevin Owens made his debut and attacked his best friend in the same night.
Of course.
And then TLC 2014, most notable match for me on that show was Bray Wyatt versus Ambrose.
Oh yeah.
That
Jeez.
was a crazy match, and that main event at the show too.
Good, as it should.
So, but
Wow.
that's it for 2014.
So, guys, that's a wrap for our year in wrestling 2013 to 2014 episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. I apologize if it was a little long, but we did warn you this episode was going to be a little bit longer than usual, which is fine. But do you guys have any memorable moments from those 2 years that we did not mention? Let us know in the comments or on social media, wherever you guys would like to talk to us. So, a couple things we need to talk about before we go. Our next episode, which will be this Thursday, we'll be finishing off our breakdown of Blink 182 album California. We'll be breaking down the last half of the album, which is tracks 9 to 16. So, we'll be doing that for you guys, and we're also going to rank the album as a whole, as we usually do with every breakdown episode. So, stay tuned for that this Thursday. It's going to be good. And then I have song of the night.
Yes.
So, oh boy, jeez, I have so many. Like I have had so many songs stuck in my head this whole weekend. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys kind of a fresh new one. So Corey Taylor, lead singer of Slipknot and Stone Sour, of course, he is releasing a new album called CMFT2. Corey motherfucking Taylor too. This album, I believe it drops in September, if I'm correct. I'm
I,
gonna go and look that up just to make sure.
I think it is either that or October. I'm thinking September.
Let me see. I should have looked this up earlier. I'm so sorry. Yes, September 15th, this album will be out. I actually might take a listen because the single he released a few months ago, titled Beyond, is really, really good. Sean played it, I think, earlier this summer, and that's where I first found it. And I actually didn't know Corey Taylor did solo music outside of Slipknot and Stone Sour. So I was very, very excited to hear this, and I really like it, and I think you guys should listen to it as well. So take a listen to tonight's song of the night, Corey Taylor's track Beyond from his new album CMFT 2. So that will be at the top right hand corner of this episode at the very end. There will be a link that pops up. I don't know if that's a music video. I'll look. If not, you guys will get the audio no matter what. Go ahead and take a listen. If you guys stuck around to the very end, we greatly appreciate your support. Be sure to go ahead and follow us on social media by clicking on the link in the description below, which will take you to Linktree. We have Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, and TikTok. Be sure to go ahead and follow us there to keep up to date with our show, as well as our YouTube community page right on the channel. You just go to the channel, click on community, and it will show you everything that we post in accordance to updates in case stuff goes wrong and we cannot post and stuff like that. So please be sure to keep an eye on that as well. We also have Dystro's YouTube channel there as well, where he uploads weekly gaming content for you guys. What are you at?
I'm at 851 right now.
Oh, okay, so you're a little more than halfway there. We're trying to get you to 900 by the end of the month, so I would love to do that. So please go ahead and subscribe to him for some gaming content. I'm in there too sometimes, so yeah, please be sure to go subscribe to him. We also on this channel post gaming content now as well. Dystro is in charge of that, so you may see some gaming content here as well in the form of shorts, just to give you guys something funny to watch when we're not doing the pod. But once again, take a listen to tonight's song of the night, Beyond by Corey Taylor, and that's it. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you guys this Thursday. Peace.
Peace.